Hey, Fatheads, you're tuned in to another episode of Cigar Chat. I am your host, John, the Cigar Surgeon. We are broadcast live around the world, picked up on the Armed Forces Radio Network. We, of course, broadcast on CigarFederation.com, YouTube.com, and now Facebook Live. Thanks to all our Facebook Live listeners out there. And thanks to all our podcast listeners out there. I was just doing a geography search today, and there are droves of you in over 81 countries in the world. That's crazy. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are in the world. I am joined, as always, by our host, Logan.
I'm using the Googles to try to figure out what airport our esteemed guest has a store in, because I know that
I'm so stuck on this.
I remember.
He's obsessed.
You're obsessed. Absolutely obsessed.
We're going to be talking about this for an hour,
at least.
But we're going to find out. We're going to find out, though. But it would be legit if that was true.
We are, of course, joined by the illustrious, the infamous, the one and only Matt Booth of Room101 Brands. Matt.
Guys, I'm honored. Thanks for having me. Can we swear on this show?
Well, I mean, at this point, I'm pretty, normally we wouldn't be able to because it's an Armed Forces Radio Network broadcast. But quite frankly,
I was in the Armed Forces. Does that mean I can swear, or is that not? It just comes out naturally. If I must censor myself,
fuck it, just say it.
I think you should just be yourself. I think isn't that the number one rule? Just be yourself. Don't try to be someone else.
Be careful what we ask for. Be very careful. Okay, now we've got the trifecta of interviewers here. I think you guys should run through and say a little something about yourselves, your grooming habits, boxers, briefs, whatever. I think we should get this going. I mean, unless you had something better to talk about.
I don't think so. It's not like I prepared for the show or anything.
Yeah, man. Briefs. I prefer not to take showers, and my hair is quite wispy.
Wispy,
man. Just wispy.
Wispy.
I see. Well,
what do you have to say about that?
You know, I'm sensing a theme too. I see like a lot of alcohol. I'm not sure if this is there's a
cheers.
A theme of consumption here. Where's your drink, Tex?
I don't drink, bro. I have an alter ego.
There's a good reason.
Old School, right? You've seen Old School, right? You know, Frank the Tank. That's me, but much more violent.
Frank the Tank was actually based on Logan.
One of those.
I'm one of those guys. Yeah,
I get it.
I choose not to drink.
I probably should choose not to drink. However, I choose to drink.
Right.
But for me, I am not one of those. I find myself very pleasant and happy.
You're a Hugosaurus.
I'm a Hugosaurus, man, because when I begin to ingest the alcohol, at some point very quickly it hits me like I feel so much better. Like I feel so much better now than I did 10 minutes ago. So I must continue. And then I wake up in an alley. It's like, it's like boom, boom.
There's no curve.
Oh yeah.
It's a linear. It's a binary state of sober, not sober, remembering things, not remembering things.
Full blackout alley rape Mageddon.
Wow.
Blackout alley rape Mageddon.
Yeah.
Wow. I like the gentle curve. I like the 16-hour. You remember in horrifying detail all of the things you've done.
Who drinks for 16 hours anymore, dude?
I mean,
college, bro.
Have you not been to Canada before? Like, what do you think you do in the wintertime? It's not like, you're going to enjoy any of these winter sports. Winter is for drinking, my friend.
It's apparently the Ireland of North America.
Essentially.
Apparently.
I didn't know that until I started getting to know John.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we're already pre-planning the number of flasks that I will have on my person at the IPCPR, and at what strategic points during the day we can refill said flasks. That's.
I see.
It's about being prepared. It's like anything in life. Proper preparation.
I mean, bringing flasks to the Ipsipper is like taking extra candy into a movie theater. Like the environment is hostile at best as far
This
as
is
the
true.
price.
This is true.
Alcohol. I mean, you could easily break yourself buying a couple cocktails in that place.
Isn't that a fact?
Mm.
Although there are some particular faraway bars that are slightly unknown where the going rate is not quite
Stratosphere.
not quite your left arm and or left leg.
Stratosphere.
Tex, in all fairness, we're also, well, I mean, those of us that don't already have, we are not trying to contract HEP also. So Stratosphere.
Stratosphere is the
Listen,
perfect
I'm a-
place for that.
You just-
Stratosphere, like, get a couple cocktails, leave with hepatitis.
They got that combo shot now. You just take that combo shot in advance. That's, I mean, if you're trying to take the shot after the fact, that's no good. But if you take your shot, you take your Ducarol, you take your combo AB, you're good. You're golden.
Wow.
I mean, dude,
A
Stratosphere.
man of questionable moral fiber, but I like the direction.
I like to hit those street meat vendors. I like to roll them dice.
Perfect.
Are we talking about cigars? Are we talking about hepatitis or what?
Is this a cigar
Look,
show?
man,
Is
this is
what?
life, bro.
This is hepatitis
It's
chat.
cigars,
hepatitis show?
Cigars, hepatitis.
Hepatitisfederation.com.
There we go. Boom.
Hepatitis Federation.
/HEP.
I feel like there's a cigar brand name in there
Story of my
somewhere.
life.
Somewhere someone could have come up with the hep cigar, and then they
You'll
came
see
out with hep
next month
sizes
from-
hep A, hep B.
Who says someone won't?
Yeah,
Next month,
I mean, you could do a
CigarFederationTobaccos.com.
Serious, man.
Cigar Federation.
Gingivitis.
yeah, gingivitis. Yeah,
Classic.
And then HEP would have, you could have sub-brand, sub-series potential there with ABC.
that's what I'm saying.
And then
Yeah.
if you wanted to get crazy, you could go XYZ. You could imply, you could propose that in the future, obviously there will be these hellacious, mutations of this virus that go beyond,
Speaking of, that's some scary shit. Like, I was reading the other day that they've got all these fucking diseases and shit. Like this one where fucking they don't have a cure for it. It's like this kissing beetle thing or whatever, and it does something, but they can't cure it.
What does
Is
it
that in
do?
the same place as the Room 101 airport?
I don't know, probably.
The
called
Room
the
101
kissing
airport's
bug.
very simple. You come in and you leave with a gift that will never leave you.
It's
It's
kind of like
nice.
this, man.
Nice. That is like hepatitis.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
but
was
more-
actually
kissing
thinking-
beetle.
I haven't made up my mind yet, but I was considering setting up a booth at one of these upcoming trade shows and just having like a children's inflatable swimming pool filled with water from, say, the Amazon River, and invite people as a contest to urinate into the water to see who actually gets these creatures that swim up
Mhm.
that sense the acidity of the urine and
Yep.
go into your body and then eat you from the inside out. It would be akin to the rock digging scene in Flash Gordon.
Yep.
Are we all
Yep.
familiar with that?
Mhm.
But different, because he was going in.
Yes.
This would be coming into you, and who survives? Does this sound plausible?
I think for people watching this, I think it would be highly entertaining. I don't know about participating being highly
No,
entertaining.
it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be entertaining though, because that shit would happen after the fact, and you wouldn't get the relish in seeing people die, and like seeing the aftermath. That's the fun part.
No, because we would hook them up with GoPros. Everybody that participates would have a GoPro. Trip, baby, come back to daddy. Why?
What happened,
Trip? Why?
Trip got scared of shit swimming up his pee hole.
Trip.
Freaked
Trip
out.
was like, bugs and dicks, I'm out.
I'm out. I'm out.
This is it. We've talked about all this other shit. It's fine, but I'm done. I'm gone.
What are we
Now-
gonna do to the Trip back? Or can we?
Yeah, of course we can. That's why we use Skype as our platform, because Skype, unlike Hangouts, will recover from disaster. But I just want to leave, since we're on the topic of horrifying illnesses. I've discovered something that is truly horrifying, and it's not a no, it's not a disease. It's not a virus. It's not a bacterium. Have you heard of prion diseases?
No.
So imagine, if you will, a protein, like all the proteins in the world, basically meat, the things we're all made of, the things we eat on a regular basis. And all that is funky about this substance is that it's misshapen. Okay? So all it is misshapen. And you think, okay, well, how much of
you're back? I missed you.
You're back.
Sorry.
So the prion is a protein that's misshapen. And what happens is it eats your brain.
Huh.
And you can't stop it because it's a protein. And you can get it by touching it. And if you touch it, the protein can just be absorbed into your skin. And you can't kill it, like, to destroy it. So imagine, like, so let's say you have a surgical implement and you have this prion on your surgical implement. You can't actually sanitize the implement because it would take like thousands and thousands and thousands of degrees to sanitize it. So instead, you just throw the implements out. It's that dangerous.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this a real thing, or are you just fucking around?
This is a real thing. So if you really want the things that nightmares are made of, just after the program, Google prion disease. Read up on that stuff. It's it's a very scary place out there.
Yeah, I'm not into that, man. I feel like leaving the cigar business now. I'm exposed to the reality, the harsh realities of this world, man. Before I was protected by a shroud of drunken romp and event touring.
Very cool.
Does that make sense?
I'm down with that, and I feel like talking about your brain being eaten is a perfect segue for our first sponsor spot. I know they want to be associated with brain eating, so just want to first of all remind your audience that you are tuned into Cigar Chat broadcast live, picked up on the Armed Forces Radio Network, broadcast on CigarFederation.com, YouTube.com, and now Facebook Live. Please stay tuned for a moment and a word from our sponsors here.
Yammering.
And we're back. No, sadly, no yammering. It's I've considered piping the advertisement and spots through to the guest audio, but really it'd just be me talking, and you already have to put up with me talking for 58 minutes, and really
we don't need two of you talking at the same time.
It's too much. No. It's too much. One Canadian is one Canadian too many. Is that what Caldwell said? Something like that.
I believe he said that Canada was the ill-fitting beret of the United States.
That's what it was. Yes.
One of my favorite comments of all time.
That's a great quote.
Fucking love that guy.
He is
he's a trip, man.
He is like a razor of language. Like, he just drops these things that leave you both stunned and impressed and sort of reeling out of nowhere, seemingly.
It's provocative.
Oh, I like that. Provocative. So now that you've given up the Cigar Jukebox podcast, Matt, what is it you're doing with all this free time now that you don't have to track down industry people, get them to respond to emails, chase them all over the globe?
One by one, what I'm doing is I'm handing all of my shows back over to the people. I want them to be able to, continue to carry that flag, and with or without me. Although some of my musk and genetic serum will be forever doused upon these broadcasts, simply because once you're there, you can't some things you just can't undo. You know what I mean? So. But I'm using a lot of the time to to pick up new hobbies, take up new things. I recently got into power washing asphalt. It's a phenomenal release. You would never know.
It's actually quite fun.
just blasting the history away, just tearing it off and just revealing this just like it's like revealing the soft underbelly of your driveway. You never
It
knew.
really is. It really is.
Exfoliation, you know, it's amazing.
What PSI do you have on your?
Oh man, I don't get tech. I just pull the thing and turn it on and I just start blasting.
Oh man,
It's amazing.
You can get some of those. Will take your skin off. It's no fucking
That's
joke.
true.
Yeah.
No, I definitely think I have one of the powerful ones. If I hold it too close to the concrete, it starts blasting a hole in it. So I have to move. Yeah. There's a sweeping technique I must use, which I've been perfecting, you know.
Yeah, there's
You got the time.
It's a good time, man.
I mean, there's whole sections of the internet that are dedicated to before and after pictures of power washing, and these people, you know, it's like looking at pictures of puppies and kittens. You know, they look at this and they say, you know, show me this filthy driveway, and then show me the side by side of your filthy driveway before, and then that nice clean split after. I mean, it is remarkable, frankly.
Bing. Yeah, man. And what have you guys been doing since you gave up your show?
Well, I'm working in the industry. I just it's in my blood now.
Like what industry?
The cigar industry.
Oh God.
And worse, I'm in the retail end of the cigar industry. Yeah, managing 16 stores, soon to be 20 stores, because I don't like free time or sleep or sanity or time to myself at 9:30 at night. These are not things that I enjoy. So,
well, you have chosen wisely then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Mm-hmm. As we previously discussed.
Trippy, what have you been keeping busy with?
Mostly smoking cigars.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. I smoke cigars and I sleep. I drink Logan's coffee and try not to fall asleep.
I want some of that shit. I want to try it.
I'm gonna email you. We'll make shit happen.
We're gonna do some things.
We'll put it in the airport, man.
That's right, in our airport kiosk store.
I don't think it was a kiosk, man. Like, it looked legit. Like, when you go through Heathrow and you see like the coach stores, dude, it was badass looking.
And it said Room 101.
I swear it was a
Nice.
Room 101.
I love
brands.
It. I mean,
store.
I wish I was brought up to speed by the powers that are apparently truly controlling Room 101.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to be in the know, do you? I mean, it's not like it's your brand or your direction or your vision or anything of those. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you know, I fantasize that someday I'll wake up and, you know, I'll be on some form of cigar-related podcast type nonsense, and someone will say, "Hey, did you know your flagship boutique in the Moscow airport is going to be wiring your royalty check for the quarter?" Like, that's phenomenal.
That's great. That's great.
Do you need me to do anything? No, you're fine. Okay, I'm just going to chill. I'm going to go power wash my driveway again, and I'll let you know when that wire transfer is, guys. Good, thank you.
I suppose as long as they send the check, the things before that aren't nearly as important as sending that check. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, if you're not getting that check, all of those prior things maybe not so important.
It's the check, man. The check.
It's all about the cheddar.
That's what it's about.
It is, man.
Need that extra aged cheddar.
Extra aged cheddar.
Anybody that tells you it's not is either challenged or bullshitting you. I mean, it's very simple. You know, I don't know how else to put that.
Matt,
My dad used to say, I got to give a quote from my father about money. He says, "Son, money doesn't buy happiness, but it sure is a good down payment."
There you go.
Best quote ever. The best quote ever.
Yeah, that's a great quote.
Dale Waller special there. There's a million of them if you want to hear more.
I feel like that expression of money doesn't buy happiness is just people without good imaginations. I mean, I can, off the top of my head, think of 15 things right now that would make me happy that I could buy with money, and they're not that expensive, you know? At least not up in Canada.
There you have it. Whoa. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Shameless plug for his nation.
That's right. Nation of degenerates.
Hey, is it still hockey season? Is it still cold up there?
Yes. No. Well,
It's always hockey
today.
season.
Today it's cold. If you'd asked me 2 days ago, it would have been 82 degrees freedom. But today,
Oh, wow.
yeah, today it's yesterday. So, well, we're going to talk weather apparently, and then after sports
But hold on, how is it
traffic,
possible
weather.
yesterday it's 75 degrees in Austin, Texas, but it's somehow, I don't know how many degrees parallel we're going up here. Or
You're pretty
not
far
latitude,
away.
longitude. Longitude, we're going up here.
Lot of degrees longitude. We're not too far off latitude wise, but longitude wise,
Okay.
yeah. I mean,
But how's it 82 there? I mean, that math just doesn't compute.
well, because we're in a magical zone where Pacific and I'm getting super weather technical. Now it is the weather chat with Surgeon, the weatherman, and we have a Pacific flow that comes off the ocean, and
Flow.
it's a flow. So we can get the Pacific flow, which is good. We can get the Arctic flow, like yesterday,
Cold.
which is bad, or we can get the like an updraft from the States, which can be good or bad depending on where that's from. So we got the Pacific flow, and it was 82.8 degrees, and I was loving it. And then 24 hours later, we had sustained wind gusts of over 65 miles an hour, and it was 31 degrees, and I was not loving it trying to drive down the freeway as my car was trying to propel itself off the freeway.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
I bet your tires would have gripped better if they had power washed the road.
See, it all comes back.
I like that. That was a good. That was a good.
Washing, man.
It all comes back to power washing.
That was a
baby.
good circle. Little donut action there.
Matt, why did you leave the industry, man? What's the deal? Give us the real 411, not what we read in half wheel.
I feel like we broke his spirit in 2015 when we made him feel bad for making us wait for the interview. I think that's what finally did him in.
No, what was awesome is you yelled at that retailer, and it was the most epically funny thing I've ever seen in my life.
I have no concept of what you're talking about.
Oh, that was so funny.
Oh, I'll recant the entire story. As Rob, I and Surgeon were trying to get an interview with you, and this was the last day of the show. And
you were busy
with meetings, and you said, "Hey, be there at 10." It was like 10:30. We were still waiting patiently, like good soldiers. And you show up. You're like, "Hey, let's do this interview." So we sit down to this interview.
And I'm gonna pause there and just say, and you were very gracious the entire time because you had said, you said, "I'm sorry, like I keep getting, but I will absolutely come back and do the interview." And we're like, "Hey, man, business first. We get it."
Yeah, it's no problem. So we sit down to the interview, and this retailer comes up, and it's a younger guy. He's probably like mid-30s. And he's trying to like get cigars, and you're like, "Dude, I'm like doing this interview," and he's like, "Fucking bloggers taking my time," and you're like, shut up and smoke a cigar, and you threw a cigar at him. No, for real, you did.
And it was like that great like flick motion, like you just kind of flicked it at him.
Like you take this rolled up dead leaf product and smoke
it. Take it. And then he got pissed. Nice. He's like, "Well, I'm not buying your shit anymore." And you go, "Fuck it, don't. Get out of here." And like, oh my God. And this guy was livid, and you were just did not give.
You were chill as a cucumber.
Dude, didn't give a fuck. It was awesome.
I can't imagine. God, no, I can't imagine doing that. I just, man, look, everybody's got to, be respectful of one another, and if not, they must be told about it. And then, if they can't take the heat, baby, the door to the kitchen is stage left.
True.
Is that stage left? That is stage left. Yes.
To your defense, I thought that his behavior was like, and I say this obviously Canadian, so it's skewed, but it was so far beyond inappropriate, and you had handled it up until that point with a lot of grace and patience. Yeah.
So he was a dick.
Oh, completely.
Huge dick.
Yeah.
I don't like dicks, man. And surprisingly, that is a surprising statement to come from someone that's very active in the cigar business. And I don't mean like dicks as in people with questionable moral fiber. I just mean like phallic objects, penises. There's so many of them.
They're everywhere.
Just tallywhackers everywhere.
A second, like if you could imagine. See, now you work in retail, so you're like on the sending end of that. But like if I was to enter one of your locations, and there was like an event that was about to pop off, it's a very type of glory hole-esque sensation. It's all these charging, just dick,
dudes making a circle, and you're in the middle.
And you're just like, I tell you, thanks for the check. I'll see you next time. Thanks.
So I feel like that's a perfect time to segue to our next sponsor. I mean, I can't think of a better segue than that.
I really enjoy these segues. I think you do it. I want to compliment you, but I don't want your head to get too big.
Fair enough. It's quite tiny. So
they're the best segues of all time.
Thank you, sir. So this segment is brought to us by Cigar Oasis, who are the market leaders and innovators in electronic cigar humidification. And if you don't have a Cigar Oasis product, you have to ask yourself: are your cigars truly protected?
You slip it.
You need to set it and forget it. And you need to do that today. CigarOasis.com.
I got one.
Glove doesn't.
Don't mix up the order. You set it, and then you forget
Cigar
it.
Oasis
set it.
And Johnny Cochran, like
then
bam, right there, living in the back of your mind, rent free. Buy our products. I like the rhyme, guys.
I mean that meant
and I do. I use your products as well, guys. Just throwing that out there to marinate and humidify my own shit.
Matt, Pete Johnson wants you to know he's watching you.
I'm always watching Pete Johnson. I'm always watching you, Peter. I miss you. I will see you soon. Very soon I see you.
Matt,
did he just text or something?
No, he commented on Facebook.
We're global, Matt. We're global.
We're global, man.
We're everywhere. We're being listened to in Burkina Faso right now. I couldn't even point that out. I couldn't even point it out on a map, but I know it's in Africa someplace.
Africa.
It's like West Africa.
It's probably the Sultan.
Maybe.
Of that country.
He probably smokes cigars. He probably smokes Room 101.
He probably does.
Yeah.
And he buys them from our flagship boutique in the Moscow airport.
That's right.
Dude, on his house,
full service. You get the massage, you get fitted for the ring.
Such a fine location. Such a fine point of retail sale for our merchandise.
Matt, let's talk Room 101 brands, because I want to learn about. Please. I'm rocking. I'm your target demographic. I feel like I'm your target demographic. I think a lot of people in the industry are your target demographic, because every time I turn around, I see a guy with a cigar. He's got some kind of cool cigar ring on his left hand, his right hand, or he's one of these guys rocking out with like 4 rings. So what's the dealio? What's the deal with the rings? Do you design these things? Do you have an artificial intelligence that designs these things on your behalf?
With the rings, the dealio. First and foremost, I would like to make a statement about what the dealio is with the rings, sir. The dealio is very simply this. It has once been said that clothes make the man. And if it is true that the clothing makes the man, then the accessories truly make the man fantastic. I am on a mission to make every man, woman, and child a bit more fantastic than they were 5 minutes ago, whatever that means. So I have been making jewelry since early 2000, and it was my first foray into offering branded merchandise and a branded experience, right? And from there, that metastasized into many other classifications of merchandise. And as we all came to know each other so well through the cigar business, one of those happened to be a premium cigar at one point. But yeah, man, our jewelry collection has expanded and evolved over the years, and we offer anything from what I consider entry level branded products to stuff for specialty stores, and then on up to the super fine, super heavyweight stuff.
Mm-hmm. Who's the most famous person who has worn a piece of your jewelry, other than yourself, of course?
Joe Holtman of Camacho Cigars. He is a cigar industry legend. Has a phenomenal haircut and personality to match, and he wears our products.
Okay.
Nice.
Shout out Joe Holtman.
Do you deal with just primarily sort of sterling silver and up, or do you also deal with other bastard metals like steel, or is it what's the minimum threshold of metallic quality?
We do offer things in stainless steel, 316L, jewelry grade stainless, and that's kind of our starting point. From there, we bump up to sterling silver and black titanium.
Ooh.
And which is kind of one of my favorites. We're actually going to be presenting our black titanium collections at the upcoming Pitti Uomo in Florence in a couple weeks, which is I would say probably the most prestigious men's fashion show in the world. And then from there, like I said, we offer, the golds, the platinums, the diamonds, the whole Mr. T deal. We do it all.
If I'm not mistaken, platinum would be the most expensive metal, correct?
That we offer.
That you offer, okay. I am also a fan of the black titanium, actually, for the record. I think mostly because I tend to gesticulate a lot. There's a lot of gesticulation, and if I have stainless steel, what happens is bang, bang, scrape, bang, right? So, I tend to go with the harder metals. They tend not to get banged and chipped and scratched and whatnot.
Understood. And to answer your other question retroactively, I mean, we've made jewelry for a number of known people. Probably the most recognizable would probably be like Slash and Snoop Dogg.
Nice.
But actually, it's kind of interesting. We made Snoop Dogg this really bitchin' 213 ring and did it in like old school kind of gangster graffiti fonts.
That's fantastic.
And it was super cool. And he wore it in a video with R. Kelly. And to my dismay, his hand was blurred out just enough that I could tell what it was, but you couldn't see it, right? And, reaching back out to get some press photos and whatever of him with that specific piece, not some of the other stuff we had made for him. They mentioned to me that his representative at the time mentioned to me that he no longer wore it because it did have some sharp edges because the tailoring of the graphic was somewhat aggressive on some of the edges. And apparently he scratched a hoe.
Oh,
that's costly.
So don't want to do Those that. Are not my words. They're his words. So there was some hoe scratching.
That's expensive.
Oh, you can put that on your resume. Hoe scratching jewelry.
I was like, oh, okay, I get it. No, I get it.
Hoe scratching.
Have you been out and because I'm sure you must, like, being in the design fabrication for so long, you must recognize your pieces when you're out. So have you been out and mixing it up and seen someone with your pieces and just sort of caught your eye and distracted you from the conversation? Like, has there been moments like that when you're out?
I've come across people wearing our product, and I've had, back in the day when we only did sterling silver and gold, and we offered our products made to order only. It was a far more intimate and boutique to reference things that are going on in other industries. Pardon me while I take some douche out of my mouth. The more boutique and in nature, and I would get calls from clients and friends saying that they ran into some guy in a bar somewhere that had one of our rings. At this time it was like I said, far more counterculture, and so it was interesting. It's an interesting experience to have that type of thing happen. I will say this. Although we have made products for people of some level of notoriety or another, my favorite thing to see is just like regular people wearing our products. And when I would travel, especially in the event space in the cigar world, I mean, there was pretty much every stop I would make, there was someone wearing something of ours, and it was a very heartwarming thing. I like to know that a regular ass dude would spend his money on something I made. That's if you want to say that there's some level of reward or something rewarding to it, I would say that is.
Beats the FDA coming in and telling you can't make your rings a certain size or a certain shape or a certain design. That's for sure.
That's correct. That's correct.
So where do you have your jewelry made, Matt? I mean, do you have the elves up in the North Pole, or do you have a workshop behind your house, or?
You ever seen New Jack City, bro?
No, I've never seen New Jack City.
Who's seen New Jack City?
I've seen New Jack City.
You got. I mean,
car where they're all making the dope naked and the.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
There you go.
I don't watch drug movies, Matt.
We have
that's a classic
facility in Los Angeles, downtown in the jewelry district, where we make all of our from casting to finishing all of our sterling silver and gold products.
Oh, cool.
Our alternative metals I do all the design work in LA, and they're manufactured at a very reputable facility in China, as they have to be able to offer that merchandise at a price point that is affordable.
I mean, we've talked to you about the creation of process of cigars before, but what's the creative process for rings? Like, what is it? What is a typical time frame between, being out and having a great single malt whiskey and an idea just jumps into your brain to Snoop Dogg's wearing that in his next video with Little Bow Wow or Kanye? No, not Kanye.
He's just Bow Wow.
Did you really say Little Bow Wow?
I did.
He hasn't been Lil in a while.
What are they doing up there? What's going on up there?
He's always going to be a Little Bow Wow to me. Always.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So now that we've established that,
East Coast for life. Just saying.
So I'm beside myself, man. So anyways, ideas are one thing I am definitely not short on. The time to execute all of the ideas I have is a completely another subject, completely different subject. But it really depends on the intensity of the project and the depth of the piece. I mean, quite frankly, some things are easier than others. If it's mixed materials, if it has a mechanical component to the function, if there's clasping mechanism. I mean, anything can make it an episodical adventure in development. Let's call it that.
Muy complicado.
Or not.
Logan, I know you're dying to ask cigar questions. I can see it, man.
No,
I've got some cigar questions.
Oh, fuck
hey, you fired up.
Fire
in the shape of dicks.
In the shape of dicks. What's going on with your cigars? Like, I know they're still on the market. So are those all completely out of your hands, or do you still have stock that you own? Did Davidoff buy all your stock?
That is the remaining inventory that we have in the Davidoff warehouse.
Okay.
Shipping from there. Most of it is already sold out. And I, at least from that point, obviously there is stuff in market. And, it's, I would say, an interesting time to be able to pick up a collectible or collector's item version of a Room 101 cigar product. Whether or not they are made again, they will never be made like that. So they're collector's items.
Yeah, the pre-exit.
Shameless plug.
Shameless.
The pre-exit Uncle Lee.
There you go.
What about audience? What about audience? I know we have audience questions.
I got a question.
Oh, there we go.
So,
there it is.
Know that you make jewelry, Matt. You make jewelry. You make cigars. I gotta think that you make a lot more money from doing the jewelry than cigars.
Texas is all up in my business. See that?
I know. Well, hey, I'm just
how we roll.
He wants to know what he wants to know what you're wearing.
Dollar figures. I'm not asking to see your
briefs,
your tax return. I'm
maybe
just
some
asking.
tidy whities.
I will not release my tax returns.
All I gotta say is, Surgeon had a ring shipped to me because I'm his proxy here in the U.S. And I asked him how much the ring was, and I said, how much was that ring? Like $100 or something. And when he told me, first of all, about fucking shit myself, and then two, I was like, man, that might have $30 of silver in it, like if fucking that. And Dude, I'm in the wrong fucking business. That's what I thought.
It's an interesting ring.
Yeah, I know.
It's essentially the logo of our site.
I'll let you license a trademark, Matt, on the cheap. No problem, sir. I can make that happen for you.
Nice.
And I got this one too.
Well, I mean, look, man. Like I said, we have things that are $50, $60, and we have things that we've made for people that were $50,000. You know, it's
$50,000.
Yeah, man.
Dude, have
But
you
I mean,
never?
that's not an everyday occurrence. God, I
No,
wish it
no
was.
shit, but
Well,
real.
we've had some custom commissions that have been that have carried that price point or more. You know, over the years. But I mean, there are people that buy some intense shit. You know, but you know, our day-to-day business and our jewelry brand consists of things that the everyday person can afford, man, and the things that we sell to our department store clients like Nordstrom. You know, a lot of our beaded merchandise and like I said, our more entry level stainless steel products. You know, they drive the, they're the Clydesdale of our company, really. Right. Clydesdales, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm. Okay. $50,000.
I could see that.
I could see more than that.
That's
dude.
fucking
you throw some
dude.
platinum, you throw a couple diamonds in there, man. I mean, just the material cost alone.
I mean, we've made giant gold bangles for people that weighed over a pound, man.
Wow.
I've made some pretty intense pieces. I love doing that stuff. I love doing the custom stuff. I'd say that's my favorite part because it's everything that I love about the process. And typically it's for a client that has entrusted me with that process intimately and exclusively and
their checks cash.
Well, there you go. We don't like checks at Room 101. We like wire transfer.
Excuse me. From Moscow, no less.
Just throwing that out there to the putting that out there in the ethers. We do prefer the wire. Yes,
give me that Swift. Give me that Swift number, son.
That Swift code, baby.
Give me that Swift code. We'll take care of you. We got that Swift code. Whatever you want. Dinner's on you.
You're an international man of mystery. Look at you.
Yeah, it's all about that Swift code. That sounds cool, man. A commissioned piece sounds really interesting. I mean, how much time, because commissioning pieces is really interesting, whether it's painting or whether it's jewelry. So, I mean, how much time you have to kind of spend with one of these personalities to get a real sense of what they're looking for before you can go off and build a $50,000 piece for them.
Well, I'm glad you said that, man, because a lot of that process is becoming familiar with that client. And getting a vibe from them, getting a feeling from them, as well as their submissions of their reference materials and direction from them. It's a combination of that and them together. So there's no exact science to it, but I definitely need to either speak to them long enough to have a feeling for them and what they're looking for, or spend some time with them.
I'm guessing with a $50,000 piece,
go to Lake Havasu with them for the weekend. Get a cabin, Lake Tahoe.
Do a little hunting, a little fishing, a little drinking.
Do a little something.
Yeah, a little something.
Do a little power washing, bro.
A little power wash that deck at the cabin. Maybe it's been a season.
If you ever want to take your tattoos off,
power wash that deck.
We don't need to go to a dermatologist. We'll just take a power washer to you.
At one point I considered belt sanding a component of my tattoos off, and then I'm glad I never did that.
That'd have been probably a bad
idea. Seems like a bad idea.
Woof. But I was dedicated to the idea.
What about, let me ask you this, Matt. Now that you're not part of the industry, do you still smoke cigars?
I think that's a questionable statement.
Well, yeah. Now that you've exited,
right?
Do you still find yourself smoking cigars?
Of course.
Okay.
That's why I got into the business to begin with.
What do you smoke? Do you just smoke old pre-exit Room 101 stuff, collector's items?
Yeah, I do and only will ever smoke Room 101 banded products. So what I like to do is I like to buy the Padron 64 anniversary natural wrapper Principe size. If anyone's sending me a gift,
Great size.
I'll take those.
Great sauce.
And then I take a small piece of paper, and with a Sharpie I write Room 101 or draw the flower logo, and then I put it on the cigar. Then and only
Of course.
then,
Yeah, obviously.
I enjoy. I like to participate in Pete's Monster Series every year. I purchase a box, and then I write in crayon Room 101 all over the box, and then I smoke.
And oh man, so I just had a thought, Matt. If you come back to the industry, instead of doing the Monster Series, you do the industry.
I will never come back.
Fair enough. You do the industry series. So instead of the monsters from history, from Shelley's novels, you do the monsters from the industry. So,
you could have one that guy I threw the cigar at that time.
No. Like you have manufacturers. So, you have the Peter, you have the Joan. You just go down the industry and you have where I'm going with this.
I do know where you're going with
Yeah.
that.
I don't know where you're going with this.
You
I
have
have no fucking clue.
industry manufacturers as cigars, but you change it up.
Yeah.
Change the name.
There's
just enough not to be
there's
sued.
a series that affords a tongue-in-cheek referential experience.
There is.
Rumor has it there may be one that is in some way connected to someone on this Skype interview.
It's John.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it has to be.
I've heard things, but I hear things, I hear stuff. I hear stuff and things.
I thought what happened at the suite at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas stayed at the suite at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. That's what I was told when I checked in, and Brittany checked us in. That's the story that Brittany told me. What I was told.
Okay.
So, I'm just saying my business shouldn't be out on the internet when my business is supposed to be staying in Vegas, according to Brittany.
Right. I think that's a very good statement. And I think depending on how much time we have, we should definitely cover that concept because, some of the ailments and afflictions we discussed previously on this call will definitely leave Vegas with you.
Yes.
And I don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you're going to do some serious wet work in Vegas, you shouldn't have to pay the price later.
That is an excellent term.
That makes sense.
Yes.
What's that?
That is an excellent term. I love the term wet work. Whenever someone says, "Well, we had to go over and do some wet work," I mean, it's a very visceral word.
Absolutely.
Wet work
Absolutely.
and moist. Those are two very
Terrible word.
very visceral.
Oh, you're one of those.
When I
people.
say wet work, I say it hyphenated,
Yes.
just to be visual.
Yes. We do need to segue now that we're talking about wet work. we do need to talk about
Perfect.
our last sponsor, and it's an easy one. It's an easy one to do. This last segment is brought to us by who, Logan?
Drew Estate. Them bitches good. Back to you.
Nice. See?
See, Matt, for the right price, we could have Room 101 brands advertising that factory.
Absolutely.
And take your shit into the fucking stratosphere.
Absolutely.
Sir.
Man, I think we have something to talk about.
I think we do too. I'm feeling it, and I'm loving the new site. By the way, it's on Shopify. Looks really nice, man. It's classy as shit. Whoever did it, I don't know if it was you. I'm assuming not, but if it was you or you paid someone, they did a very good job.
Thank you.
Matt, is there any chance that you're going to make a guest appearance at the IPCPR? I'm just saying, it's been a while since we've had a smoke and a whiskey.
Are you coming with your mom?
Unless no, I am the mom. I think I'm the den
He
mother.
is the mom.
Yeah, I'm
You're
the
the
den
mother.
mother.
You're the mama bear of
Yeah.
this whole.
This bode.
Take these two gents out and make sure they don't get roofied at the bar.
That's not me.
Or
Yeah.
make sure they do get roofied.
Well, that's what happened last time.
Yeah.
Actually, I took the roofie for the team with Robbie.
This is true.
Nice.
Actually,
This is true.
actual true story. Yeah, I actually got roofied.
I forgot all
Yeah.
about that shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, it was. I'll tell the story because it's kind of amusing. I mean, obviously, I'm a professional drinker. We have a pairing show every Wednesday. So, and being Canadian, it's kind of in my blood. So I know where my limit is, and my limit is half a bottle of whiskey. And that takes a little while to drink a half a bottle of whiskey. So I see that path coming before I get there. We went to an establishment who will not be named because they might ban me. and they have lovely ladies working there. So I kind of want to go back and get roofied again. But Rob, my co-host at the time, also a professional drinker, can hold his own. We ordered one cocktail each and finished our cocktails in a normal period of time while we enjoyed a delicious cigar. I don't remember if it's a Room 101 brand, but it probably was.
Let's say it was.
It definitely was a Cool Chief Arrow or something.
It definitely
similar.
was. It definitely was.
Yeah, and
I remember.
Roofies were, bro.
Yeah, that's right. And all I know is we got up, and I remember saying to my friend Rob at the time, "Boy, I seem to be quite fucked up." And he said, "Well, so do I." And I said, "Well, that's not possible because I've only had a cocktail, not 8 cocktails in a half an hour." And we managed to sort of stumble, and I kid you not, stumble our way back to the hotel. And he was taken out for the next morning. He could not come out on the floor because he was out of commission. And I'm actually certain that we got roofied.
Yeah,
yeah,
man. It happens.
Yeah,
they're out there creeping.
They're
rapey.
Just waiting.
Very rapey.
Yep.
Very rapey.
thought I had a pretty mouth or something, and they didn't. No. They could have asked.
You'll either come to with crimson anus, or you will have some sort of wallet type deficit going on.
So that's the scenario that I had not considered, and someone threw that at me afterwards, and I thought, that's actually probably what it was. They just weren't expecting 2 professionals to come across their path. So yeah.
I know how to handle a roofie, man.
Yeah,
I can handle my roofies.
I take a little bit with my eggs in the morning, and so by the time the IPCPR comes around, I go back to the waitress and say, double down on that. Give me 2.
Double those roofies.
Dose.
Yeah, bring it.
Bring it.
I'll take 2.
Yeah,
I'll take 2.
Tiffany. So
what's up with there are people, right, that have questions, or that nobody gives a shit, nobody's watching? Pete's watching.
There's a bunch of people watching, but nobody has real questions. There's some comments like Casey Aldelamy.
Oh God,
I'm sure you know. He says that the jewelry making process is very sexy.
That man appreciates me in ways that keep me awake at night, and I appreciate him equally in return.
Donald Smith says, "Take a bath in ramen." I'm not sure if that was in reference to something we were talking about, or if
it's a reference to life, and he knows of me and my ways.
That noodly goodness.
Things have happened.
When in Japan,
Yeah, when you're looking at your store, man, there in the Tokyo airport, wild shit's gonna happen.
Tokyo boutique right next to the ramen place, man.
Fuck yeah, man. Sounds like a hell of a time.
So I'm talking.
Nobody has any questions. I'm lame, man. I challenge them for questions.
Come on, people.
I'm surprised. There's normally a chatty bunch
because you're not really in the industry anymore.
In the industry,
so all
hangs around these.
You bunch of hoes.
Yeah, just hanging around.
Toenails. Not in the industry anymore.
Do you find Matt, like, because I think when you're on Coop's show, Primetime Live, you're talking about that you had your jewelry in some cigar stores, correct?
That is correct.
Is that a sort of a one-off thing, or like by demand, or do you think that's also an additional marketing opportunity for the brand? Like, I don't know how many, I don't know if you can just roll out, 50 facings across Texas or California or wherever at a
I mean, look, man, Room 101 in the more modern sense of what I'm about to say is, in my belief, the industry's original lifestyle brand. There are other collections that have, I believe Davidoff is one of the originators of that concept, where they have all these multiple classes of merchandise, but their backbone is into premium tobacco. Ours is there's a similar philosophy, with the core being our jewelry collection, and then our cigar brand very pleasantly became another one of our brand cores, over the years, or the cores of our brand, and I don't think someone else would have similar luck trying to distribute that type of class of merchandise in the business, because it's there was history with our brand. There is a history with our brand and that type of goods, and it made sense. There were certain locations that did very well with the program because their customers were tuned into our brand and what we had to offer. We had a private label series that Cigar had made for us for several years with our graphics, brandings on it, right?
Those are super dope.
Those are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it for us it made sense.
I mean,
you have a store on Madison Avenue?
What's that?
You have a store on Madison Avenue?
We had a shop-in-shop display in the Davidoff Boutique on 53rd and Madison. We are transferring that to the new Nordstrom flagship that will be opening there early next year.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. In Columbus Circle, baby.
Oh.
Adjacent. They're actually going to have separate men's and women's there. It's going to be a very, very interesting retail experience.
Nice, dude.
I mean, you were very careful with the brand to not make it industry specific, which I think was a very shrewd move. I mean, if you have cigar in your name, it's clearly a cigar brand, but you have Room 101 brand, which Room 101 brand could be whatever it is you want it to be. So you've been in the jewelry, you've been in the cigar industry. Is there another industry that you could see yourself transitioning into with that brand?
There are actually a couple additional classes of merchandise we're in development stage right now on, but I will rather physically reveal them than discuss them. I don't like to prematurely ejaculate my business.
Nobody likes that.
Nobody likes that.
No,
nobody likes it.
No, they don't.
Unless it's a quick finish.
Yeah.
And if you want to get this thing done, then we can get it done. That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I get where you're going with that analogy, I think.
There we go. Good.
All right, we got audience questions rolling in now.
Good.
Jason Fox wants to know how your skateboard collection is.
Who is this?
Skateboard collection? Jason Fox.
Oh, Jason Fox, baby. I do. I collect vintage skateboard decks, mostly from the 80s and the time that I was first
really?
Skateboarding, yeah.
Man, when I was a kid, I wish that I had kept it. I had a Powell Peralta board. It was the one with the skeleton holding the sword.
Oh, yeah.
It was such an awesome board, and I don't know what happened to it when I was a kid.
Many people have that that same feeling. Some people kept them, but most people, it's crazy what's going on in that world as far as like the collector market for those products is concerned.
Yeah,
it's because we're all getting to the age where we can afford that shit now.
Yeah, it's you're exactly right. It's a bunch of dickheads like me that are now at this stage of our life where we can want things, and then like people put ridiculous prices on. We're like, well, I guess I can buy that.
Yeah,
I guess.
Give me your Swift number. All right.
Yeah. Hey.
What else we got, Trip?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Well, we have two kind of similar questions. What's on the Room 101 horizon? But I guess we just kind of asked that, right?
Well,
show don't tell, I think, is where we're going with that. I think
exactly.
We had a bit of a dropout there on our technology.
I mean, it's hard to tell whether it's technology or whether it's just math.
I mean, he's
just fucking with us.
That could be the most epic pregnant pause of all time, and that would be truly magnificent. And
hey,
there we go.
Oh,
wow. He's back.
Now you're back. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hit us up.
Did you hear my answer to that, or
no?
Sadly,
none of your answer.
No, I said I have multiple projects in various stages of development.
Right on.
Insightful.
Says a lot.
How do you normally reveal a new project? Like when the project's ready, Matt? What's the correct stage? Now that you're not coming on our illustrious podcasts and talking about these products, what's the stage?
I am on your podcast talking about these products. I'm confused now.
Does that mean we get first dibs
at
the launch
exclusive?
Party?
Absolutely. Typically, the stage in which I would announce anything, I would find a properly busy street corner in downtown Los Angeles. I would pull my pants down around my ankles and viciously masturbate at passing traffic whilst holding a sign to announce whatever I had to announce.
What's the take rate on that? Like 30, 34%, 37%?
Filled masturbation.
Oh, it's the angry
Lambs schmegma throwing.
Oh, so it's not the fun, it's like the anger,
where all the hate comes out.
Tex is an angry drunk. I'm an angry masturbator.
Angry masturbator.
And a happy.
You're a hugger.
Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I can dig it.
My therapist keeps telling me, don't masturbate angry. Don't masturbate angry. But I said, I can't just get mad. I'm like, give me my money. And it's crazy.
So, my wire transfer.
Right?
Yeah, man.
Give me that check from London.
What's that Swift code? Okay. So no, man. You're gonna see, be bombarded by announcements from our company in the coming months. For different projects becoming real, materializing in this dimension. So stay on the lookout.
I assume you guys have a newsletter that you can go to
They do.
room101brand.com and sign up for.
That's correct.
Is that right?
And if you sign up and you give us your information, including things like, say, your social security number, your mother's maiden name, things of this nature, will also afford you a discount on your initial purchase. It's a great
20%. I already signed up.
Time to expose yourself to us online, to new things, to expose yourself to new things, new experiences, new products.
I got a question. If you were going to recommend a ring for me to buy, which one would it be?
The most
from your collection.
One.
Well,
don't be a jackass and say $50,000 like a fucking Flavor Flav fucking diamond clock. Don't do some bullshit like that. But for real, knowing
and although that would be a phenomenal look for you,
I could pull that shit off for sure.
Apparent preference. I would say something from our stainless collection. Actually, man, if you're going to do one, this is the thing. You're going to do one thing, make a statement. It doesn't have to be huge, gaudy, and overpowering. But something sleek, svelte, sexy. Something from our black titanium collection. Something that says, I came to party, but I can keep it buttoned up if I have to. Something like that.
Okay. Got it.
So I've got another jewelry/cigar question. If what could you see yourself doing partnerships with cigar companies now that you're not really a competitor for them anymore?
Well, one thing, look,
like if Pete wanted to make a monster ring next year.
Yeah, of course, man. I mean, I made people products while I was in the business for their companies. I never put our branding in it because I didn't want there to be conflict for them. But I mean, I made products for friends of ours while I was in the game. And I'm absolutely open to that.
Cool.
I'm surprised that Pete does not have a monster ring already. I think that would be super cool, actually. Little Drac, Chucky.
Little Drac action.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jason. I mean, Jason practically begs to be on a ring.
That's correct. I agree. Yeah, yes, he does. He does. So we'll see what happens, man. You never know what's afoot or what can happen. Is there anything? I feel like this got oddly quiet. Like everyone is, there's question delivered, I deliver answer, and then there's like this stillness. Is it just the Skype or is it me? Is it me?
I don't think
it's Logan. It's Logan.
Fuck, it's not me.
I think what it is, Matt, is we're reflecting upon the years that we had with you at the IPCPR in the industry, and part of that is this visceral sadness that we don't get to see you in Las Vegas or New Orleans or Tampa or Miami, guaranteed in July every year, and there is a little bit of a little bit of sadness there. Honestly, no shit for reals. Going down to the fields, you were one of my favorite people in the industry to not only talk to, but then after the daily hubbub of pouring ourselves out of, spending some time with and shooting the shit.
Phenomenal levels of boredom.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. I get it. I was right there with you.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. There are a lot of people. Look, if you had asked me prior to my involvement in the cigar industry, I would have said, I made the best friends of my life while in the service. And I would tell you now, I definitely made some of the best friends that I have ever made in the cigar industry, man. It's a group of great people. It's a phenomenal community. It's one of the reasons I fell so deeply in love with it, man.
Since it's poignant to our Armed Forces Radio Network listeners, if you don't mind me asking, what branch of service were you in?
I served in the Marine Corps, 3-7 India Company, weapons platoon. I was a machine gunner for 4 years. Mostly I carried a lot of heavy shit very long distances and was highly upset for a long period of time.
That's pretty cool, man. Thank you for your service.
Yeah. No, it's my pleasure, man. It was my pleasure.
Logan, I know that brain pan of yours has been spinning for 50 minutes.
No, man. All I'm thinking about is how I have to go inside and get fucking packed. And my wife's going to yell at me when I get inside.
I thought you were thinking about which airport that Room 101.
No, I've already given up on that, dude. But I know it's fucking true, man.
It's out there.
I'm fucking serious, Matt. Like, I'm not bullshit. I've been here.
Maybe it's just a knockoff Room 101 store.
It was like red.
How phenomenal was that?
A picture of it.
You know what's interesting is there was actually a knockoff early on in the cigar when I entered the cigar business. This was like 2009, 2010. For the initial launch of our cigar brand, we used this hand-drawn font for the brand name, which we quickly changed. Some people were insisting on still using it up till the end of last year for their promotional materials, which I could never understand. But there was a bar in Spain that actually copped that graphic and was using it on themselves Room 101 with that actual.
Wow,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Figured they'd never get busted.
I never got the chance to go. I always wanted to go to my bar.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go.
We should.
Spain.
We should.
You can have a mocktail.
I'll just drink sweet tea. We'll call it good.
There we go.
I don't know if they have sweet tea in Spain, dog.
Dude, they've fucking got sweet tea everywhere, bro.
I don't know.
I've had sweet tea in fucking India. Like, trust me, you can get sweet tea fucking anywhere.
Okay.
All right.
I promise you that.
Sounds like the man knows what he's talking about. I think what people need to do now that we have this global community tuned into Cigar Chat, I think what they need to do is find this boutique Room 101 store, boutique way store.
It's out there.
And did you say Cigar Chat?
Cigar Chat. I mean, it's close to Chat.
Cigar Chat is what you get when you smoke something that's just way too strong for you.
It's that Lajero first thing in the morning with that plain coffee.
And drink that main line.
That's right.
Fuck you up.
Who needs vegetables? No, what they need to do is they need to take a selfie, and they need to have a hashtag Room 101 brand, found it or something like that, and post it to the Insties, to the Facebooks, and we got this global community in 81 countries. We need to put these people to work. So if you're listening
somewhere
to
in Asia, somewhere in Asia,
find this at your local airport. Tag Matt Booth in it on Instagram.
If you've ever seen Room 101 in an airport, just let us know.
Yeah.
So that we can put Logan's mind at rest.
Somewhere in Asia. I think it's Japan. I'm telling you. Telling you.
I'm getting harassing text messages from Casey now. It's harassing me directly.
So Matt,
to draw my attention away from this conversation.
Is there any chance that you are going to make a guest appearance after hours in July in Las Vegas?
What exactly is after hours? I'm confused.
Well, after hours is the time where
are you gonna be in fucking Vegas, Matt, or what? July 10th
I don't know.
14th.
You could show up at the Cigar Federation party.
Maybe I'm not.
Yeah, we're rolling deep for the.
We're spending some cheddar. I'm a cheap person by nature, but dude, we got a suite at the Cosmo. It's gonna be lit. I know, man. It's gonna be legit.
Are you gonna have it like an after party in that thing?
Dude, we got a wraparound balcony on that bitch. It's gonna
Of
be
course,
awesome.
we're having an after party.
You know, I guess I might have to come. I don't know. I mean,
There you
this might be, the linchpin in my decision-making process.
There it is.
Well, I suppose why not? I mean, if you guys got a wraparound balcony, I mean,
I mean, I don't mean to brag, but it's bigger than the last hotel room we stayed at last year.
True.
Yeah.
Just the balcony is
There you
bigger
go.
than the room we stayed at. So yeah, it's impressive.
I'm gonna rage.
I haven't told Logan yet this, but his credit card is being used as damage deposit on the room.
nice,
Yeah, well,
strong.
yeah. Cigar Federation corporate card will be used.
There we
That's
go.
fine.
LLC.
No big deal. No big deal. No
Matt,
big deal.
can you tell our illustrious audience where, first of all, they can find Room101 brand and sign up and order their own ring right after the show?
Of course, room101brand.com. If you are a new and unique visitor to our website, you will be greeted and met with an opportunity to insert your information and acquire your initial welcome discount. Yeah. You can find our accessories at a bevy of Nordstrom locations across the United States and Canada, as well as online with them as well. And our cigars are still carrying over 1,500 points of retail sale in the United States.
Until they run out.
Until they run out, baby. Ooh, get it while
I
the getting's good.
Truly
Collectible.
truly limited.
Collector's edition.
Truly limited edition. Truly limited.
Mhm. There you go.
It won't be coming
Get it while
back.
you can.
Potentially.
There it is. Matt, we look forward to having you back for your new product launch party, whenever that might be.
Man.
When we have
My
the
man.
exclusive drop party on cigarfederation.com. And
We're gonna drop something.
we're gonna drop something big. It's gonna be big.
Bombs.
Yeah, and look at this, man. We got my Portland Connect, and now we've got coffee. Like everything comes. What are you doing, Canada? What are you? This needs to be the trifecta.
I'm bringing the Japanese whiskey to our party.
Okay, well there we go.
Yeah, closed
There we go.
distillery. You know what I'm talking about? Mhm.
That makes it all.
Yeah, bring
worth
some Dr. Pepper to mix it with. That'll be good.
Ooh,
Yeah.
awkward.
About as awkward as me mixing Coke with that fucking Pappy Van Winkle.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's how we
that
do
was
it.
yeah.
That was an awkward fucking
Yeah,
moment in
there
my
were some
life.
eyebrows raised.
Luckily, I didn't do it though. I didn't
You
do
showed
it.
them.
Well, I mean, it's in front of a very well-known personality in the cigar industry, and he's like, "Yeah, let's drink this bottle." I'm not a drinker, obviously,
Mhm.
and I wasn't forced to drink it, but I knew what I was drinking. It was fucking primo shit,
Right.
and I was like, "You got to drink it. You can't be a dick and not drink the Pappy." And
It was
dude, it was
Buffalo
rough.
Trace that's put in a different bottle, but that's okay.
It was rough as fuck, and I had a Coke, and I started to almost pour that Coke in that Pappy, and then I realized about what I was fucking doing, and then I stopped. Luckily, before anybody saw me, and Jonathan Drew kicked my face in almost.
What?
Yeah,
What are you doing?
he's like, well, he looked at me, gave me the stare, like, "What the fuck are you about to do?" And I stopped. I stopped real quick.
Like, don't do it, man.
Awkward.
Take that bourbon
Indeed.
seriously.
Yeah, man.
Matt, thank you very much for being on our little program. It's a
It's
pleasure.
my pleasure.
Thank you, man.
We're looking forward to having you at our suite in Las Vegas, July 10th
Well,
to
I
the
mean, now
14th.
that you have a wraparound balcony, I'm gonna have to come.
It's gonna be legit.
You know,
It's going to be
it's
crazy.
that simple.
I'm just saying.
It's the announcement. They've heard it first.
Dropped here
Yeah.
live.
Dropped
Cigar
here.
Federation. Yeah.
Dropped like a
I do want to thank all our Armed Forces Radio Network listeners who are out there and have enjoyed our shenanigans. I don't know if this is going to make the Armed Forces Radio Network
Yeah,
segment
probably not.
because I would need to blank out a lot of swears, but we'll see what I can do. But I want everyone to have a fantastic weekend. Go to Room 101 brand, check it out, and buy those limited cigars because they truly are limited. Once they're gone,
Wait.
they gone.
They gone.
They gone, bitches.
They gone. So have a great weekend and stay safe.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Take care.
Thanks, Matt.
Adios.
See ya.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Matt.